G'day, welcome back to part 2 of this Subaru diagnostics. How do you say it?
Subaru.
Subaru. Potato, tomato. That's sounding the same anyway. Right, so thanks for your feedback on last night's video. Really useful, gave me a lot of good direction. Key points that we need to look at is a few of you suggested compression like I first thought. What else? I made a list here. So we need to check our static timing. Right, Charlie? Need to check that we're actually getting an output from the crank sensor. And that's everything we can do at the top of the engine. Everything else we need to jack it up. But of course we've got a bit of a problem here trying to jack this car up, so we're going to work from the top down and make our way to the bottom. Sounds a lot like the Blue Oyster Bars modus operandi, but that's how we're going to do it. So we'll crack off these timing covers and bring you back and have a look at the timing marks. Go from there. Right, going with our low-hanging fruit. Well, we've had a look at the static timing. As you can see, we'll line up there. Lined up there. I've turned it over by hand, and there's resistance and compression does build up. So it just sounds a bit funny, this dodgy old Subaru, but that's fine. So next step, we'll do an output test on the crank sensor. Make sure we're generating an AC voltage as the engine turns. Okay, so timing was good. Now we're going to check that we've got an output from the crank sensor. So we got some test equipment today. So we got a couple of leads connected to the crank sensor. We've got a meter on AC volts, and we'll see if we generate a voltage. So kick it, Tony. Do you know what you're doing? Yeah, we got something on our 200 volt scale. I need a better multimeter. Once more. I'm still working at the top because we're going to do our crankshaft bypass test. So we've got scope on a rope, positive terminal. And if we listen carefully over the screaming baby, we get an injector pulse, or we get a noise when we brush across the terminal. So that's all looking good so far. Why the long face? Right, so it turns out we can get to the spark plugs without jacking the car. So we got one out. Now it's looking like we got no spark, so we'll give it a crank. So there we go. Right, ready?
Ready to crank?
Yep.
Cranking.
So this is the old crank sensor. We're back in. We'll try it again. Go. So we got injector pulse, and it sounds like it's trying to fire. So we'll put that call in and see what happens. Yep. Turn it off. Go on then. Yep. Leave it running. Oh, wheel him out of the way of the fumes. Might turn him into a superhero. Handbrake's on. Oh, straight over the Badgertronics memorabilia.
Ready?
Yep. So what's all the fuss about? I don't know, yeah, don't want to gas a kid. You ready? Right, so it's working. Let's run through what happened with this car. So it was parked somewhere, he started it, moved it a few metres, turned it off, then it wouldn't start, just crank, no start. As you saw yesterday, didn't seem to have any spark, or he was missing some things, so wasn't even trying to fire at all. So did the diagnostics yesterday with no tools, no anything, came up with a crank sensor. So got a new one of those, put it in, exactly the same. Testing you've just seen now, we had no spark, we had no injector pulse, but the crank sensor bypass test all worked, and we're getting pulse and weren't getting any spark. Was probably a background, but anyway, timing was good. And I thought, let's just put the old crank sensor back in and just see if we get a pulse then, and put it in, started first turn of the key. So I'm sure there's lessons to be learned here. Don't let me near a Subaru, probably number one. The other thing I learned is you don't need to jack the car up to get the spark plugs and stuff out. But that's fine. We worked that one out too. But it's running. I've just been for a rip up the road and it's all good. So thanks for your help. Thanks for your ideas. Don't know what the problem was. I don't know if it's something we've knocked loose and reconnected, but it's working now. So we'll leave it at that and go on from there. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe if you like watching me fix problems that don't exist, and we'll see you at the next one.
Charlie says bye.